This is from Wockhardt Hospital, Dr. Ramban.
Good afternoon to panelists, chairpersons and delegate. After coming from endovascular, I will present a case of primary PCI, which is a real challenging case. So this patient was 62 years male, presented with symptoms of chest pain since last 8 hours. The coronary risk factors were hypertension and diabetes. He was diagnosed to have acute anterolateral ST elevation myocardial infarction with acute left ventricular failure, that is CLIP class 2. So you can see this ECG is suggestive of extensive anterolateral myocardial infarction, and echo was showing hereditary akinetic with severe left ventricular systolic dysfunction associated with mild MR. So you can see this angiography. There was total occlusion of the ostial LED, and the RC is non-dominant and it is giving collateral to the LED. So I will again see the ostial LED. So my strategy in this case was, after discussion with the relative, to do the primary PCI of LED, and in between, if at presently patient was, if required, we will keep the IABP. So why this is a challenging case? Because this is high risk subset of acute coronary syndrome, and wire navigation point which was not seen, it was plus total occlusion of the ostial LED, and the only artery is circumference which is dominant and supplying to the viable myocardium. RC is non-dominant, and something happens to the LCX, there will be major catastrophic events and mortality of the patient. And this was looking not only acute occlusion, but there may be chronic total occlusion or maybe high-grade stenosis, because within 8 hours you cannot, there is less possibility of development of collateral to the LED. So this was challenging case, and you can see this I engaged with EBU 7 French guide and through the right femoral approach, and you can see the ostium is not seen, not able to see where is the LED. Then initially I tried with run through NS wire, and I have repeated attempts were taken for 15 to 13 minutes, and you can see the pacing method. This point, first page, that is the hooking method. Means initially I thought this might be point of LED, then I have just penetrated the wire and pushed it, and it is making hook, and after making hook I have just released the hook. So my this point was that after hooking, if you release the hook, it may go into the ostium of the LED. So I tried this, and repeated attempts I was not successful, and at this point my colleague said that's better to skip this case and give the case for surgeon to do the CABG, because it carries high risk and less possibility of going ahead. So this point I thought better to protect the circ. So I have taken another run through NS wire and protected the circ, and then I thought this is not the usual case of acute myocardial infarction. So it might be acute on chronic total occlusion. Then I have here click came that best to take the C2 hardware. So at this point I have taken the Fielder FC guide wire, and you can see the two curvatures make through the guide wires, and in spite of usually we can go into the caudal use, but I thought better to go to the cranial use, and which will give more alignment of the LED course, which will be better alignment this cranial use. And you can see after manipulations, this Fielder FC wire went into the diagonal branch. Then I have given the sequential pre-dilatation starting from the small balloon to the larger balloon. This point I know that wire in the diagonal branch. Then I have reoriented the wire and dilated with 2 into 12 millimeter balloon. And after post dilatation, you can see there is little amount of thrombus. So no need of thrombus aspiration. Then I have taken the giant stent and you can see the precise stent positioning into the left main. And after this, I have done the balloon dilatation, and you can see the results. Result was very successful. So the message here I want to give that primary PCI is always challenging because we don't know the subset of lesion, whether it may be left main, whether it may be ostial or maybe bifurcation. And PCI of plus total occlusion of the ostial LAD with dominant L6 is challenging. In this case, we observed the acute and chronic total occlusion of the culprit vessel. This is novel finding. I published this abstract into the TCT AP Seoul 2013 data about 15 cases. So 14% patients coming to the primary PCI, they have these findings. And limitation of, in this case, my limitation was not able to see where is the entry point. And this case, particularly hooking method, that is make the wire hook and release the hook, that helped me for the successful manipulation of the wire. And prolonged manipulations, such patient can lead to the catastrophic complications like dissection and thrombus formation. So message here is better to protect the L6. So I am thankful for you for kind attention.
This patient had any symptoms before he had MI?
He has, before he has dyspnea, class 2 symptoms were there since last 2 years. Class 2 symptoms were there. But he was not came to the cardiologist, not taking any medicines.
Did the LV function improve after the procedure?
Since last 1 year, he is on follow-up. Initially, EF was 30%. Now, LVF is around 50%. Only apex is hypokinetic. Good improvement of LV function. So usually such patients have a history of EPIRD symptoms around 75%, the patients who have acute and chronic total occlusion. Or they may have old myocardial infarction also presenting with recurrent myocardial infarction. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.